Welcome to Beyond Sunday with Pastor Nick Williams. South Shore Community Church exists to help all people find and follow Jesus. Join us weekly as we talk through current sermons, theology, parenting issues, and how to have a gospel-centered marriage. We are praying that today's message helps you grow closer to Jesus. Now, here's your host, Pastor Nick.
Welcome back to Beyond Sunday, where at the moment we're exploring the principles of leadership and personal growth through John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. If you've made it this far with me, congratulations. We're diving into the 17th law today, the law of priorities. This law states that leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Let's unpack what it means and how you and I can apply this to our leadership journey. For almost 2 years, I've had this question that's challenged me. Are you being productive or are you just being busy? This question captures the essence of this law, the law of priorities. In my leadership journey, I've often found myself caught up in the whirlwind of task, thinking that being busy equated to being productive. However, I realized that busyness does not necessarily lead to accomplishment. It was only when I started prioritizing effectively that I saw meaningful progress and achieved my goals. John Maxwell defines the law of priorities by saying leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. This means that leaders must differentiate between being busy and productive. Maxwell emphasizes that being busy doesn't always mean you're achieving something significant. Prioritizing requires leaders to continually think ahead, understanding what's important, and see how everything relates to the overall vision. Maxwell introduces the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 principle, to illustrate effective prioritization. The Pareto Principle suggests that if we spend most of our time working on the top 20% of the most important task, we will achieve 80% of the desired results. This principle can be applied to various aspects of leadership, such as dedicating 80% of your time to your top 20% of employees, which contribute the most to your organization's success. In addition to the Pareto Principle, Maxwell discusses the 3 R's for setting priorities: requirement, return, and reward. He says leaders should ask themselves, what is required? What task must I do that nobody else can or should do for me? Number 2, what gives the greatest return? Is there anyone I can delegate this task to who can achieve the same return? And then number 3, what brings the greatest reward? What task will lead to the most satisfaction and fulfillment? By focusing on these 3 R's, leaders can effectively prioritize their time and efforts, setting themselves and their teams on a path to success. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. This verse emphasizes the importance of recognizing and prioritizing the right activities at the right times. Consider the example of Jesus in the Gospels. Despite the demands on his time, Jesus prioritized his activities according to his mission. He often withdrew to solitary places to pray, showing that even in the midst of a busy ministry, he prioritized his relationship with the Father and his mission above all else. Let me just stop right there for a moment. You and I need to hear that again. Even though he was busy doing ministry, he prioritized his relationship with his Father and his mission above all else. I think you and I can put our relationship with God towards the bottom of our list. We wouldn't say it like that, but we live it like that because we don't feel the direct consequences of not having that strong relationship. On the flip side, if we had that strong relationship, we would understand the sense of priority that we should place on that. John Maxwell said, when we are busy, we naturally believe that we're achieving. But busyness does not equal productivity. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. This quote underscores the importance of focusing on meaningful tasks rather than just being busy. Another great quote by Stephen Covey: the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Consider the example of Steve Jobs, known for his laser focus. Jobs prioritized the most critical tasks that aligned with his vision for Apple. By eliminating unnecessary distractions and concentrating on key innovations, he propelled Apple to become a leading tech giant. Maxwell shares a story about a leader who realized that their endless meetings and constant multitasking was not yielding significant results. By adopting the Pareto Principle and focusing on the top 20% of important tasks, this leader saw a dramatic improvement in their productivity and overall success. As always, let's take a few moments and talk about how you and I can apply the law of priorities to our own leadership journey. 5 things. Number 1, step out of your comfort zone. Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone to achieve priorities? Reflect on your current situation and identify one thing that is not working. Think about why and realign your priorities accordingly. Number 2, apply the 3 R's. Write out your response to the 3 R's: requirement, return, and reward. Apply these criteria to 3 aspects of your life: career, family, and personal growth. List tasks that do not align with the 3 R's and delegate them or remove them completely. Number 3, reflect regularly. Ask yourself if you've taken personal responsibility for prioritizing in the areas you lead. Set aside regular time to reflect on your priorities and ensure that they align with your vision and goals. Focus not only on your own success, but also on developing the success of those you lead. Number 4, model enthusiasm and passion. As a leader, model the enthusiasm and passion you want to see in your team. Your energy and commitment to priorities will inspire others to follow suit. Number 5, motivate and recognize efforts. Motivation is crucial for maintaining momentum. Recognize and reward the efforts and accomplishments of your team members. This not only fuels motivation, but also reinforces the importance of prioritizing effectively. Remember, leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. By prioritizing effectively and focusing on what truly matters, you can lead your team to greater productivity and success. Today, we explored the law of priorities and how leaders understand that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. By focusing on effective prioritization, utilizing the Pareto Principle, and applying the 3 R's, you can enhance your leadership effectiveness and achieve meaningful results. Now, join us next time as we delve into the 18th law. We're almost done. The law of sacrifice. Thanks for listening today. Until next time, keep growing and leading with purpose.
Thank you for tuning in to Beyond Sunday. We hope the conversations and insights shared here have brought you encouragement and have deepened your journey of faith. If today's episode has inspired you, we invite you to follow or subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an opportunity to grow closer to Jesus alongside us. Don't forget to share this podcast with friends and family who might be blessed by it too. Until next time, thanks for joining us, and may God bless you abundantly.